Okay, 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 okay. I am in and out of him, baby, so quick. You know what? My attempt to write it out didn't work. My attempt to do just an upload, that ain't work. So let me see if I can put it on the record like this. This um, check this out right here, right? So I am apparently having a documentary day, right? But earlier I was telling y'all I was looking at this documentary about a court at Sarah Lawrence or what have you, and I left off one thing. Some people went to, well, eventually got to Homeland Security in 2017 about that dude, and they said they was laughed out the place. It wasn't until 2020 when an indictment was brought against the guy, right? I don't know who all it lists. What up, Daniel? I don't know who all it lists as victims or victim witnesses, but I know they say two of them that weren't even cooperating with the government at the time was listed, right? Two of them that was actually supporting him. So go figure, you kind of have to wonder what was the difference in 3 years? What made the difference, right? Um, so knowing them could have been the lack of convincing of the who was ever in charge of that unit to go forward an indictment, especially I told you if you don't have someone to cooperate or cooperate and at least give you some circumstantial evidence, namely the the alleged victim, they usually don't want to go ahead with it unless they have some other type of evidence. It must be those recordings or something that made them go ahead and pull the trigger and jump out there in 2020. But I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. And it's not that big a deal on my mind. However, you have to pay attention to small things, right? Small circumstances, small incidents, because they do set precedents, right? Not only in law, just in other industries. Okay, like it. Whether somebody votes or not, that's just their personal choice of why ever they feel that way. Um, but for someone not to know what's going on in politics, you got to know everything, but at least some of the major issues or whatever, that to me just purely, I don't know. I don't know what to call that. Because it's bad enough you're not voting. But it's even worse that you don't even know what the hell is going on. That you're going to sit up there and let something affect you that you ain't had no say in it. You don't even know when it was going on. Like I just, like we was looking to that goddamn affordable health care. Oh no, nobody knew nothing. And we sitting right there. Oh no, that's what we were saying for months. So hey, it is what it is. It's just whatever it is. I can't really speak to that because that's not something that I identify with, or I would ever even have the choice of knowing. Me not knowing about politics, that would never happen. Although I'm not all deep down up through there like some people, are, know the different the nuances and stuff like that with every policy because Like I'm usually working on the other end. All of that is wrapped up and passed along to us, and then we carry it from there. So um, yeah, but if even if I'm involved in that, so mm-mm. But I do know what be going on. Okay, so that's some of the times anyway. So it brings me to the last documentary I watched, which is called Rap Trap. It's on Hulu. It's like it really speaks about the use of rap lyrics against artists, right? And it started off with speaking on YSL, Thug and Gunna. And I'm not sure if Gunna is a part of YSL or the associate of YSL. I thought Gunna was just an artist that, just did a bunch of collabs, but I don't know. And of course, you had Will I Am in there. And, I love Will I Am. I do. But he starts off making the assertion that you have white artists like Johnny Cash, who's, and this is I'm not exactly saying what he said, but I'm just saying what the hour pretty much focused on. And they mentioned that the lyrics of Johnny Cash said about he murdered his wife and shot a man in the head and some other stuff, right? And if you look at any movie about Johnny Cash or any documentary about Johnny Cash had a pretty good temper and a real nasty drinking habit, right? I think it was on that shit at one point too. But anyway, so you have Will I Am speaking on the fact that white artists say all these type of things, right? And they don't have their lyrics used against them, to be either arrested or prosecuted or what have you. And with black artists, namely rappers, it happens with them. And here's the problem that I think that people miss. And it's just not with rap lyrics. It's, I'll get there. Let me make sure I'll keep it separated just for understanding. So when you say rappers are getting their lyrics used against them, it's generally because they have been suspects of doing those very crimes. That's the difference. While it all can fall up under the umbrella of creative, when you actually go out there and commit the crimes, that is the problem. That's the problem. That's how they get you. If you ain't got no crime that you can be linked to, you say whatever the hell you want to say within reason or within the protections of the First Amendment, should I say, because that's the absolute new shit. But it's not the absolute new shit, but you know what I'm saying. It is the defense that they're using at a rapid pace now. I should say it like that. So that is the difference, right? It's not that, you know, artists of all genres aren't saying all kinds of crazy shit. You know, they are making songs about underage girls and boys and stuff, right? I love rock and roll. What she said, the dude was 17, right? So that is now when it comes about that, hey, you was with somebody underage or you was with somebody, then hey, then that's them those lyrics can be used against you no matter your color. Okay? So sometimes I just have to cringe, or I do cringe when people don't think beyond a surface level, or like I say, at level two. Because I like those video games and mean it on the next level. Because remember, you have to build that tree of questions, right? If you make a statement and it ends with some type of ambiguity, or you don't know, you clueless, you don't know what the hell going on, right? You then should be questioning that question, be like, well, wonder why is that? And then that's when you should, get to it. This is my process, how I figure shit out, right? But it just makes sense, right? You know, something that isn't clear, you don't just leave it there. That'll drive me crazy. Having a whole bunch of items that's not clear, that you can't take it to the end or as far as you can take it. That would drive me absolutely insane. Ambiguity drives me insane, right? So I set up and, listening to them, of course, that was a constant theme that they went back to, right? And I guess me saying a constant theme and it went back to the double negative was what do I think they were going to do? If it's a constant theme, go back to it. Anyway, you see why I'm struggling tonight? So I'm struggling, baby. Shit. But anyway, nonetheless, you get what I'm saying. Yeah, you understand what the hell I'm talking about. So, and again, it always going to turn the dial just a little more faster and better if you have what? Some victims that are willing to be victim witnesses. They show up, damn, you got some of the shit you need, or most of it anyway. Because from them you're gonna get your story tight and you're gonna get some evidence out of the deal. Right? And testimony is what evidence. So um but yeah, well I am making that point. And then I'm like, okay, come on y'all. We got to be beyond this now. Right? And another thing is that, and I understand this from all sides, right? I understand from all sides. You have black people who are willing to take down, black people for whatever reason. Whether it range from it's the right thing to do, or they just jealous or whatever. It could be several different reasons, right? And they don't need not a lot of convincing to do that, especially when you're also living in a world now. It's like I'd rather you than me, right? I'm gonna cut a deal and get up out of this, or get as as reduce my goddamn criminal liability as much as I can. Maybe if that means me throwing you up on the bus. Look how your family gonna eat, survive for all of that. It's about me, and that's what we gonna do, right? Doggy doggy world, right? So you also have that, but then you have this system with a history of racism that we are still feeling the effects from, right? On the black side, when it comes to black crime of this magnitude, whether it be sexual in nature, or whether it be some type of gang related or what have you, right? I'm really talking about this Rico um, shit they got going on, just running through the world, right? So on the black side, when it's a black indictment, in my opinion, this is my opinion, they see that, hey, this is a chance to possibly get rid of some black folk, especially if we still feel a kind of way about black people. And I'll say it's been heightened. It started with the election of President Obama, because the racists, they really started, to me, started galvanizing, and then Trump made it official. Okay, that racism is back. So, um, so yeah, it's a way to get rid of black people. So guess what? We're gonna believe what the black people say when they come in here pointing out their own. We're gonna believe them because they don't have the history of doing that, right? No snitching, right? It's different, in my opinion, when it comes to white people. With white people, they don't really want to believe what is being said, and they don't have that urgency to get no white folks off the streets. So they're gonna be, yeah, well, okay, well, come back in 2 or 3 years, or whatever. And to me, so it can be, and I could be totally wrong, but I've seen some side by side that I can make an argument of that, right? Because the elements were there on both cases, and two different results, right? So I'm saying, and you got to start looking like, what's the difference, right? Oh, okay, I see what the difference is. So yeah, you know, with everything that is going on in this world, it evolved from a history that we are living under. I don't care what industry it is, whether it be in the areas of law or the industry of technology. Either way, we are living in in the midst of it, right? And from the midst of it, from the history, we it comes from somewhere. It ain't just come about. Not everything just popped up. It evolved to where we are now. And did I tell y'all that chicken wings is $25? I can't. I can't. Baby, I'm about to split the wing. Like, what the fuck? I'm not. What? Oh, my God. Anyway, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. You have the fact that talking about these lyrics. And another thing, and just to be honest, to go back to the lyrics, the white folks or others, they're not pretty much committing the crimes that are showing up in these lyrics. And that's the solution to that whole documentary. Um, so while I don't think an hour was long enough, I believe that they could have really used some people that was thinking at the next level. I mean, that's just pure, and that it doesn't have to be rap lyrics. It can be any crime. Now, I'm not saying that people aren't wrongfully accused. That's not what I'm saying. Of course, I know that. I'm not talking about that, though. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where there, where there's smoke, there's fire. That. And how I added to it, and where there's fire, there's ashes. Meaning the evidence, the real evidence, right? So, you know, I don't understand why that is still a question of how, why, and this, that, and the third, whatever, at this late stages of the game. Yeah, those are my many challenges. So, I thought that was just wow for Will.i.am. And Will.i.am as smart as he can be sometimes. Sometimes he fizzle out on his thought process. And I'd be like, dude, are you serious? So that's not the first thing he said, but I'd be like, dude, are you serious? A first grader could give you the answer to this question, right? But again, good old white folks showed up in there. Yeah, it's this author, and I don't know if he's still a practicing attorney, but he's written a book about rap lyrics and how it's affecting artists and unfairly and things of that nature. And I love how he's attacking the issue about rap art lyrics being used against rap artists. I love what he said. And of course, he got a strategy, right? He's saying that he's only coming from the standpoint that using rap lyrics against artists is prejudicial. And we all know that Constitution mandates that we all have a fair trial. That's strategy. That's the top tier of law that must be obeyed. You attack it that way. Now, that puts the ball back in love court because Dennis, I don't know if she asked him before, um, yeah, well, uh, Love and Hilton, or whether the prosecution is, what I put it like that. I don't know if Detective Dennis was asked prior to, do you guys um, listen to a rap song and then go out and, you know, do an investigation, or is it vice versa? So I don't know, because that to me was a point that she established, but it got wiped away because Dennis had that mishap in court, and his testimony was stricken from the record. So, anywho, it is what it is. And finally, the man that I said to me, now I may be wrong, I don't know this man, but to me, he is my twin. He could be my twin. He can be my lover. He can be my friend. He can be everything, right? Is that Michael Eric Dyson? You know how everybody have their Umars and all these other people, whatever. Mine is Michael Eric Dyson. His fly shit be so fly. Oh my gosh. He have black white fly shit. And it, boy, it's smoother than the other side of the pillow. I'm telling you, I'm like, oh, every time I used to hear him speak, and I hadn't seen him in a minute. Then, out of sight, out of mind, I'm like, that was my man. Like, this, if I say this, know he's moving in no credit card, man. Mm-hmm. You ain't here for me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Because Michael Eric Dyson, baby, his smoothness and his smartness and his chic shit, whatever, be up on a different level, right? I'm like, God. And he's smart as hell. I'm like, oh. Mm, 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 mm. I sure do like old cat. I do. I've always liked him. So he is definitely my Umar. I like you know, Tariq Nasheed from back in the day because I was over there. Wasn't really do. I mean, I was in the chat, but I just, oh my gosh. And when him and Thomas Sotomayor all got into it, whatever, I'm like, Tariq, 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 Tariq. Right. I love Tariq Nasheed, but um, he is not as fly as Eric Dyson. Tariq, it was more, I love his mind and everything, whatever. I love his outside better. I just couldn't stand his mustache set up. I couldn't stand that. Come on, Tariq. And then he kept doing something with his lips. I don't know what was going on with that. But, yeah, that's when YouTube used to be fun. And just about everywhere you go, you could have gotten some educational shit. And that's when I was getting my best um education in blackness. Sure it was. Cause my people ain't told me shit about uh nothing about no blackness. All I know is they be fighting for the power, but they ain't told us shit. We be like, huh? Like we're black? Oh no! Oh no! What the fuck? Nobody ain't told us that. I'm hanging out at Teresa's house, Kim. These are actually girls in my class. That's what I was hanging with. Dina Rucab, the prominent Rucab family in Jacksonville. Like, stop playing. I literally remember when Teresa's mother got remarried. Teresa's last name changed too. Understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to point out what that where all the people in the household had the same last name. That type of white shit. What? That's when we moved to the hood. I used to sit on the porch with my eyes open, like, what the hell? Why are they talking about best man hit my hand, had sand in their hand, and the best man hit their hand, and the sand fly up in your face, and they go to fighting. Like, I was like, whoa. And later on, um, they would pick at me, talking about, girl, you moved in, you just sit on that porch holding them little white baby dolls. I'm talking about, girl, I remember when you first started cussing and we told you, girl, that don't sound right. And baby, I wouldn't cuss in front of my mom. However, there's been some occasions I had to get with some folk, right? And she had to hear me get it out. And she was like, whoa. I remember never forget something. Wow, you can really put it down. Oh, I was wrong, but still. With child, but still. I had to get it. Okay. So, but yeah, yeah, honey. Hey, listen, I didn't know we was black. I ain't had no people ain't teach us nothing about none of that. Nothing about none of that. All I know, they love Martin Luther King. I know that. Other than that, mm-mm. So in areas where I can get my black on, I'm there. I am there. I am listening, and I'm like, wow, all that happened. Serious. And hasn't been, it has kept me out of conversations, I'll tell you that. Because I ain't like other people. But shit, let me tell you something. If you fry chicken, fry chicken. If you bake cakes, bake the goddamn cakes. That's true shit. That is true shit. I don't know why the phrase true shit never caught on like it should. Because I like saying it. True shit. That ain't one I met. I borrow something. I surely do. I give credit where credit due too. Not that anyone has to, but uh, I borrow. True shit. I am. Um, I'm just like, I lost my train of thought. Oh, A lot of shit, hey, I mean, the schools I went to, they ain't like they had a concentration and really cared about what they students knew about black folk. Hell, it's all of them look like white folks up in there. So shit. I got some of it in high school. I got a lot of it in high school, but that was a long time. A long time down the road. I mean, at that point, I was going to school dressed up like, um, not all the time, but when I wanted to be creative, I would show up sometimes like Cyndi Lauper or Madonna. And baby, I fucked around and dressed us up like Madonna going to a concert. Now, again, I'm the youngest. I told y'all this story before. I have no idea why when they do the flashback and the look back, why I got to be the one clown for it. Why y'all got to listen? Why y'all listen to me? Yvette, I mean, you had us dressed up. Oh shit! Yeah. Even in that picture with my hair, it was like Felicia Rashad and Stacey Lasso. You see, I had on my little blazer with my with the cuffs rolled up. Like, what are we doing? I told you I had a whole heavy ass donkey in my ear like Janet Jackson, and I saw a gold um, pant set like Janet, and those little boots, them little ankle boots that have the notches where you string your shoes, the strings around. I had those, and I had my sleeves pushed up on that with my hair like Janet had hers. Like, stop, man. We was doing it. Woo! We was doing it, but yeah, that's all I wanted to know. Cause I couldn't. I didn't do much better on this, but I did a lot better. I think I got out what I wanted to convey. I was having an issue writing it out, issue recording. So let me do it this way. One other thing is when you have certain issues, like this whole judicial inequalities that just continues to go on and on and on. Has it improved? Yes, it has. But in my opinion, it could have improved much faster in a much more efficient way, right? And with a lot of these issues, you cannot tackle them just from one position. Some people say, well, tackle from the outside, tackle it from the inside, tackle it from the middle. Some issues are so severe you got to tackle them on all fronts. You have to tackle them on all fronts. And I think that when they put these plans together, due to sometimes budget, due to lack of knowledge, a lack of a whole bunch of shit, the plans aren't often complete. But if they listen to me, and my plans have always been successful, I just want to raise my hand and say that. But if I'm not the driving force on the plan or have a big role on the plan, I mean, I ain't nothing I can do about it, right? Listen, when I bring my plan to the table, I have it laid out tackling it on all fronts. That way, just say you might not have to use it if this one work, this one work, this one work. You might not have to use um, the other way. One front. Just say it's five particular ways to tackle something, and I lay out all five ways. If three of them work, you don't have to use two. If five of them working and it's working at a rapid speed, that means we get to level it off at some point where you're saving money and time and all the extra shit that goes into budgeting and some other stuff, right? And the people that goes into those meetings or have been into those meetings know all the things that I'm talking about. Okay. I don't believe in coming to nowhere with just one solution. You crazy? Uh-uh. You got to tackle it. It's not just we're just gonna tackle it from the inside. We're just gonna tackle it from the outside. We're just gonna tackle it from the middle. Are you crazy? How you know that shit is going to work? That means you gotta waste time, go all back to the drawing board. You just come on with all the drawing boards. Lay them out. This is what we got. Because society will have you to believe that you can't do two things at one time. That is crazy. If you can't do two things at one time, that's your limitations. That ain't everybody else's. So with that, y'all, I'm out of here. I just want to put that on the record. Peace out. Oh, make sure you do something good for yourself and someone else. Make today a great day, tomorrow even better one. And I'm out. So are you.